Welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about my stock portfolio. So I just want to go over how I invest, the performance that my portfolio has had so far, and some overall tips and tricks. I've more than doubled my portfolio in a year. One thing you really want to know is understand your risk tolerance. What exactly are you investing for? If your stocks were to half in value, what would you do? Would you sell? Would you keep? And for me, I'm definitely more the opposite of risk averse. On a day when stocks are low, I buy more. And so that leads me to my second point, which is to buy low, sell high. Obviously this sounds like that makes sense, but some people, you make so much profit and then you start getting greedy. Or when things go low, you start to panic and then you think, oh shoot, maybe I should sell. Another point I would say is invest early and often. So if you have the money to just put in the stock market, because if you don't, you're literally losing money to inflation. Savings accounts these days, the interest rate is 0.5%. You could easily hit 7% average, market rate, and then you're not losing out on inflation. And rather than DCAing, you should just put all your money in at once, because it's just the time value of money, it's important to put it in. What I also like to do is do your research, right? Well, maybe it's trolling around on forums, hopefully not just Wall Street bets, but even just like listening to these little news articles that they have that come up. Some people say to not listen to the news. Once it's in the news, like the markets have already shifted towards that. But I still think it's helpful and just like knowing what's going on. So for example, I bought Moderna and Novavax with the pandemic going on, and once they started talking about vaccines. And Novavax I bought at I think $3, and at the high it became $300. So usually I like to look at the total gain loss, and actually so my portfolio is huge, so that's another thing. Another point of advice would be to diversify, but I would say not this much. So I diversified maybe too much, and at the same time not enough. If you go to actually this page, you can see what industries are in. So a lot of my stocks are in media, tech, basically tech, and then the second being biotech, so that's why they put it into healthcare. But ETFs are always a safe way to go. Not always, but most of the time a safe way to go. And also Robinhood has crypto. I think I bought some Dogecoin at one point. Probably should have kept it because now, Dogecoin is popping off. But anyway, so I'll take a look at how my stocks are doing. And these are ordered approximately by when I bought them, which matters for taxes. So that's another thing. Be aware of your taxes. So obviously you'll be charged tax on your profits that you make. And for long term, they have certain brackets, but for short term gains, which is less than a year, then you're taxed at your normal rate. So you kind of want to make sure that you're aware of this so you're not hit with this huge tax bill come end of the year. I have a couple watch lists that I use. So one of them is things that I've heard about. I buy on days where it is red, where it's down. So basically if something is down 5%, it's effectively kind of like getting it at a 5% discount, right? If you think about it that way. So I'm like, oh wow, everything's on sale today. Even though like my portfolio is also down, but just like new things to buy are also down. So yeah, GameStop is on here. That was kind of a joke, but I have one for things that I've sold that I no longer own because I got fed up with them. Everything that I've sold has gone up after I've sold them. So it's kind of a lesson of just like, don't sell if you don't need to, because things are just gonna go up. So then I have another watch list that is for my portfolio. So it's my entire portfolio, which took forever to add into Robinhood. So Robinhood, if you're watching this, please make it easier to do this. So I'll look at how my stocks are doing for the day, and I have it ordered. So you can actually, if you go in, you can sort by percent change, price, whatever. So I sorted by percent change so I can see exactly how my stocks are doing for the day. If something is low, so let's go to the low side. So sometimes if I feel inclined, I will buy things that are super down, because like today it's down 6%. So like how much lower could it really go, right? Like trying to buy the dip, it could keep on going down, but the things that I have in my portfolio, I kind of believe in, right? Which brings me to my other point, which is investing in things that you believe in, like products that you use. So some products that I've used at work or at hackathons or like Tulio and Nvidia, being able to understand and know what these products are. And if you're actually a user, it's likely that other people also use it, and also, there's value in the company that way. Okay, so I also have a watch list for things that I want to buy more of. I actually sold my share of Google because it went from 1,000 to 2,000, and I was like, okay, I can sell this and then maybe buy back when it drops, because I actually thought that the market would crash. So I was kind of like selling things, which is not usually in my nature, but I remember the last time before the market crashed, I could feel it, and I was like, oh, if I sold, like I would have been way more, but not really a good idea to try to time the market, but anyways. Okay, so I have a bag more, and then I also have, so I got a free trial of the Motley Fool if you watched my credit card video. So I kind of put things that they suggested, but basically they say to just buy, all the ones that they suggest, like 15 of them, and then just hold. So you hold for 1 to 3 years. They talked about Amazon when that was, back in the day, and they said like even if you have 25 stocks or something and like all of them go to zero, but one of them is as successful as Amazon, then you're still up a ton. So I do trust, so I did buy each of their recs. Oh, and then another things I sometimes look at is the percentage change. So not just the gain loss, but the percentage. It's so annoying to have to scroll through all of this junk. So you can see some of my like top winners. So Roku, you know, Plug Power. The lowest that I bought it at was 179. And I think I was starting to talk about, oh yeah, just like investing in companies that you believe in like ethically. So I have a lot of like EV companies and I have one that's for like vegan climate ETF. Let's be real, there's a lot of like shady things that happen in business. Putting your money where your mouth is, right? Like actually investing in companies that you believe in their mission. So I have a lot of biotech that did pretty well. There's Moderna right there. Oh, Novavax. Yeah, so I literally bought this for $3.40 and I bought 5 shares. And I sold most of them except this one before it popped off. I think I sold it at $15. So I was like, wow, 5 times. I think at one point it was actually up 8,000%. So like even more than it is now. GoPro. So these are coming to more recent ones. Oh yeah, Sunrun. And I think at its high, it was actually much higher than this. Something to note, my portfolio actually went down by a lot, like maybe 20% in the past couple weeks. So I was kind of waiting to film this until things went back up, but I was like, whatever. And then these are ones that I've bought kind of more recently, so the gains aren't as crazy, and some of them are a loss, right, as you can see. Some of them are still kind of successful. So this one, Digital Turbine, I bought, when did I buy this? In January. It's already up 30%. And there's some that are not so great recently. And then sometimes if ones are like really low, and if I still believe in the company, I'll like double down on it, I'll put more in when it's lower. And then yeah, crazy gains with Bitcoin. I guess the last point being know when to take profit, or just do take profit. Like even if your portfolio goes to super high, like if you don't sell, like you're not gonna see that money. But also keeping in mind all the other things that I said, like taxes, etc. So like I think I still would hold something for over a year if possible to not be taxed with the short-term gains. Yeah, as you can see, it's doubled, and it's actually more than doubled, right? So this is not really accounting for like the time. I put it in slowly over time, so it's actually gone up more if you consider that. Let me know if this was helpful for you. I'm not really sure who my audience is here. Let me know who you are, right? Write in the comments, like, here's how I found you. I know I got a lot of traction, not a lot, like a couple people subscribed from my credit card video. Comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and answer in the comment box what your first stock was that you bought and when you bought it, and if you've made any gains from it. Yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.